Hello guys, it's Lee again, bringing you another game of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void cast, and today we'll be having a game between Auckland StarCraft Alwaysyou, the green Terran on the bottom right, versus our new team member, FidesVestri, and he is going to be playing Protoss. So today, FidesVestri did just join our team, and we had a few welcoming games on the new season maps, but certainly FidesVestri has showed us his strong macro games, and his opponent, on the other hand, is probably one of the strongest macro players of our team, Alwaysyou. He's going to open up with a Reaper expand on the other side, a 1-gate expand from FidesVestri, our red Protoss player. So worth noting that FidesVestri today played standard across all maps, and it seems like he doesn't really have any rush builds or all-in builds up on his sleeve. But on the other hand, we have Alwaysyou, also a standard Terran player, although his main race, I suppose his stronger race, is actually Zerg. Alwaysyou being a Diamond 1 Terran in this season, but also a Master 3 Zerg across 13 seasons since Winds of Liberty. We have a Reaper Scout coming on. This mothership will finish on time. 2 pylons in position to intersect. Here's an empty spot at the back. Potentially get something done. Doesn't really get any probes. And the depth is going to push this Reaper back. Once again, this Reaper not seeing anything apart from a 1-gate expand to 2 gases. It's a pretty happy scout knowing that there won't be any proxy due to gas being spent on the mothership core and the adept at home. Getting his double orbital, getting his starport, standard 1-1-1 build of reactors coming up as well, with probably heading into a double Widowmine drop into either a 3rd base or a 2-base timing. On the other hand, the Protoss player, 1 Stargate to 1 robotics facility. Now, once again, this double tech tree, it's very interesting because you can probably go into many different builds. You could go into a Phoenix Colossi build, or you could just go for an Oracle Harass into a Warp Prison sort of play. Again, perhaps getting a 3rd base behind it, or go for a 2-base all-in if you actually go for a Phoenix Colossus. So it is going to be an Oracle here. Fairly interesting choice. I mean, Oracle in this meta is extremely strong versus Terran, since Revelation is able to review all these Widow Mines, setting the traps across the map, and also killing some SCVs if Alwaysyou does not care. His units, for example, not being in position in his main. Engineering Bay is probably going to finish, and his Widowmine drop coming in might actually spot this Oracle right here. So you do see an Oracle going up into his main base. This is going to be 2 Widowmines, 1 observer already in spot. This not getting activated, getting 1 mine down already. Good defense so far. 4 gases already. Side of Protoss, not getting his 3rd just yet. Missile turret being built, however, a bit too late. We'll get at least 7 SCV at this stage. That's a lot, actually. At this stage of the game, 5 minutes in, and an Oracle gets 8 SCV kills, do actually set the Terran behind. The Widowmine play isn't able to get anything. I suppose that's why he got a robotics facility, just to get a bonus counter Widowmine. Although, a weakness of this play is a 2 racks Terran open with a 1 medevac, 1 Widowmine, 6 marine drop on over here on this ramp. So if Terran does that play, then then the Oracle Observer Mothership Core and a single depth build would be sufficient to hold. And right now, this Oracle is going to scout, but do actually run into this Widow Mine, and he actually sees nothing apart from a standard Terran 2 base opens. He's got a engineering bay. I know, like, he sees 2 gases, but he doesn't really know if Alwaysyou has expanded or not. But once again, he sees that many units, thinks that it could be a potential 1 base or 2 base all in. Not really sure if he actually wants to fight this Terran army right on. Potentially do is getting a War Prism out and blink all of these units using the War Prism. Wait until his Blink Stalker finishes, not to run into these 2 tanks. It's going to be more barracks added on. Seems like a heavy 2 base play into a late 3rd base on the side of Terran. Side of Protoss is also not expanding, expecting Terran to play very aggressive. Once again, Blink is about to finish. On the side of Terran, +1 is about to finish. Also, about the same time as the combat shield finishes. One more tank being made. Better back. Because this is a really strong 2 base army. If he pushes right now, perhaps he could deny this 3rd base because on the side of Protoss, not enough sentries to fight, to engage into this position. If he sieges tank here, essentially get this 3rd base. Also, this 3rd base is, very late, of course. But upon knowing that Alwaysyou doesn't really have his 3rd base, I'm not sure if he actually knows it, but the observer do actually see there's no 3rd base over here. Normally, Terran would put his 3rd base here because the reinforcements could kill some adept run-bys, whereas if there's a adept run-by there, it would be scary. They're going to actually fight into this army. 4 tanks getting sieged up. I'm not sure if they're actually fighting into this army. A lot of Marines, a lot of Marauders, 4 tanks as well. Stalker and Immortal just not good enough because this is the army without upgrade, whereas Terran has +1 to actually get a good revelation on top of this army. Once again, no adepts, no glosses, no sentry even. It's not really going to... It's going to hurt just engaging to this Terran army, but we'll see if Terran actually sieges up. Reacting time to actually drop the scan. He's going to siege up all of these stalkers and then get back, but one Immortal gets gunned down straight away. Immortal goes down. It's bad news already. It's 3rd base already exposed right here. Siege tank count up to 5 to Midovic. Drop round, no, he's going to engage him straight away. This is an unwinnable fight. Protoss player. Indeed. Perhaps due to not enough tech in this game. All of these units is going to evaporate in a few seconds. Because there is way too many siege tank count right now. And GG. Congrats to Alwaysyou going down 1-0 versus our new player. So once again in last game, Protoss went for a really late 3rd, and that's not the best build in the current meta. Simply because if you have a late 3rd, Terran's always ahead economically. Mules, for example, and also say that if Terran is on 2 base, and once the main base is dried out, Terran could always fly to the 3rd base, right? Whereas the Protoss couldn't. I suppose they could have a rematch right now, and perhaps I think the best bet for FidesVestri is actually going a single tech route. So I think if FidesVestri goes for a standard Protoss one gate into a single tech, then I think he stand more of a chance versus an Alwaysyou. Because well, the thing is, if you go double tech, yeah, certainly last game he killed 8 workers. But you have to know that even if you kill 8 workers, you are sort of not really focusing on one tech. Therefore, if Terran focuses on Marine, Marauder, Medevac, you don't have enough gas to go for a Colossus or Disruptor or Sentries, right? And also, if your Oracle does more damage, say 13 workers, yeah, perhaps you could do a faster transition because that sets Terran behind. But realistically speaking, if you just get an Oracle and kill some workers and not to use the Stargate tech again, then I would say that's such a waste, right? So last game, what he could have done is he could have utilized the Stargate a bit more and made more Phoenixes with a Phoenix Adept composition. Or he could make, I suppose, a Colossus with Phoenix. Of course, in order to do that, you need a third base, fully saturated economy. Without a third base, the third base being so late, it's almost impossible to utilize his double tech, robotics, and also Stargate. So right here we have a very standard innovation type of opening. This opening has been there for a long time since Heart of the Swarm, but recently, since innovation has been using it in GSL and other tournaments, it's really become a very popular build. On the other hand, FidesVestri, very standard open as well. One gate expand to gas pylon, and then getting probably a mothership depth or stalker into a tech building. So it's going to probably be a 3 racks coming out of Alwaysyou. Yeah. So I think this build is pretty standard as well. I mean, a lot of Terrans have been using it lately. It could transition into anything. It is pretty strong versus Oracle Harass because you can pump out so many Marines at once. It is very good versus normal Protoss openers that Command Center first do give you an edge economically. It is not so good versus one base type of Protoss play with like heavy early game aggression, zealot pressure, etc. Double pylon rush, cannon rush. Probably not cannon rush because you can stop it with SCV, but with a pylon rush, it could be very hard to hold. But once again, you could always fly these barracks, so that wouldn't be too big of a problem. Double gas going down, standard timing, going to getting that double stim combat shield upgrade with probably a reactor and 2 tech labs. On the other side of Protoss, not really sure which tech he is going for, but since he's banking up that many gas, probably a Stargate. Probably a Stargate, I was thinking. But once again, he could just drop down Twilight and Robo at once, which I'm not so sure of. So it is going to be a Twilight tech going on. Probably the safest tech ever, or it could be the most aggressive tech, depending on how you do it. But a 3-gate Twilight, it's very tricky because it could go into 2 base Adept all in, it could go into Blink Stalker pressure, or it could just go into defensive Blink Stalker into 3rd base with a robotics facility. Always you though, very standard build as well, getting a very fast factory. No scouting. This is problematic because he doesn't know if an Oracle will come. But so far he's putting all of his 10 Marines at front.
SCV ready.
He's probably betting that the opponent is not going for a
coming through.
Oracle. But he is getting Engineering Bay. Zephyr is not going to accomplish too much. Could potentially sneak in though because there's no supply depot. There's a lot of SCV, a lot of Marines. Probably can guess this opener. So yeah, on the other hand, Blink being made. This warp gauge is finished. Knows that Terran doesn't really have a lot of factory units or starport units. So probably can assume that Terran is not going for any type of aggression until 6 minutes. Next timing of Terran is probably a 6 minute stim timing. Once again, I think Alwaysyou playing a bit playing safe here, dropping down 2 missile turrets, why not? He's ahead economically earlier on. At this stage, I think worker-wise, pretty similar. Terran do have the meal advantage, and also the income is also pretty similar as well. Once again, a very late third base being made on the side of FidesVestri. Probably could go for heavy two-base play again and go into Colossus. But once again, there is no robotics baby. There are 6 gates. This could be a 2-base all-in, but once again, if Alwaysyou doesn't go for a third base, it's pretty safe to hold any type of Protoss aggression. Probably Pro being pulled there, might be going to a third base transition here. Once again, the 5-minute timing is okay, not too fast, not too slow, but I do think that if he's going to get a third base, his best bet would be actually getting a adept upgrade, +1/+1 behind it. We could probably go for a Colossus, which he is going for right now. So always using a very decent position right here from that fairly economic opening. Goes into 5 racks, so this is going to be a 2-base heavy pressure type of build. Very marine focused, as you can see, he's only making 1 Marauder at a time, rest 5 racks, probably more marines. Okay, maybe 1 more Tech Lab, so 2 Marauder, 2 Marauders at a time is okay as well. Tank names observer do actually see everything, so I assume he did actually see these 2 Medivacs and see his moving stock into a position. And these 2 Medivacs are going to be careful because these stalkers do have blink, so perhaps, just perhaps, he could actually focus his vision on top of that. Sees that many stalkers, he's going to turn right away. Just good reaction right there. And 1 more barrack as well. That goes up to 6 racks. And yeah, this is probably definitely, you can call it an all-in or a very late third base, but depending on how you call, depending on which way he wants to attack. If he wants to attack over here, it's always a bad position here, but once again he will siege his tank up here and unload units on top of these 2 ramps. This is a good position to attack. If he wants to attack that position, he could expand here, but if he wants to attack this third base and siege up his tank behind that, it's also very annoying, and he could potentially get a third base there because these are very, because if you get bases according to your rally points, then against depth, pressure, etc. much easier. So one Colossus already out. Second one's on its way. Do actually have sentries. As a matter of fact, sentries are very important in this matchup. Not only force fields are good against Marine Marauder, but that Guardian Shield do actually give you that +1 armor. Anyways, this huge Terran army is going to push nice force field. These 2 siege tanks with so much DPS, gunning down these stalkers, and is in siege of these pylons. Is going to move out on the other hand though, always in this to get a good base, and is getting pressed down by the adept. Right away. These tanks just unsieged, by the way. It's going to siege back up again. And these stalkers are going to pick up these tanks in exchange for 1 Colossus. These stalkers are so weak. They're blinking in. I'd say it was a mistake from the site. But yeah, this is just game over, guys, because that engagement, fighting to his Terran army, blinking into it, isn't the best. Probably with better Blink Stalker Micro, he could have held that off. Once again, you do have an adept denying the third base of Alwaysyou, so eventually he will get into an advantage. Having said that, congratulations to Alwaysyou. Well, fuck, well played, yeah, of course. It was a hard game, I have to say. 2-0 right now, in favor of Alwaysyou. Certainly one of our stronger player in our team, with phenomenal micro and macro at the same time. Do actually have a lot of other maps left to be played, but yeah, really depending on if they still want to continue, because I could do this all day. It's very interesting watching them play, learning from their mistakes as well. So yeah, last game was certainly more closer than the first game. I was wondering if they want to try again. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay. So essentially, last game, FidesVestri, his build, I say, is probably more refined than the first game, where you just get like Stargate and Robo at once. I certainly think that he has a lot of room to improve in terms of micro. Certainly, his
Game
macro was
paused.
certainly fine. I mean, to say that his macro is equivalent of a master player, that's just he's just there. You can see from his gameplay that his macro is always on point, getting the right stuff on the right time. As you can see last game, very stable play, very stable build up into the mid game stage, very stable build up into the late game stage as well. But what he needs to work on, I think, is really his micro and decision making. As he said his micro decision isn't the best last game. As we can see that during an engagement, I know, like for a lot of us, do you have that pressure? Really want to crush the Terran army, really think we're ahead, but reading into what the Terran is doing is actually if he sieged up that position, the best thing to do with a Blink Stalker and a Colossus army is actually do not let a single Stalker die. Engage into that Marine Marauder, try to kill some Marine Marauders while not hurting your Stalkers too much, constantly blinking back and then get back, regenerating shield and do that again. Um, or rather with a more aggressive type of build up, you could have stalkers purely just have like around 8 or 10 stalkers purely for liberators and get around say 10 to 15 adepts. You can do adept shade in and colossus run in with blink stalkers guarding these colossus. What I would say is sentries are important, uh, always important in this matchup, and to be honest, like the only advice I would give always you is scouting, scanning, whatever you want to do. You kind of have to scout. I know, I know a lot of people say innovation don't scout, so I don't have to scout. But once again, um, yeah, that works for innovation because innovation has watched the replay of his opponent multiple times, and I do think that going for a economic build uh, such as command center first, do actually put you into a deficit if your opponent does a one base play, right? Always like one base variations, a zealot rush, pylon rush, etc., could just throw you off completely, and you don't know the opponent's follow up. So I would say an SCV scout after the first command center put down. So just send another SCV to scout just to make sure that you're safe. Just to sacrifice maybe 100 minerals early game just do the scouting is always always say if you play ladder of course, yeah, but since this is just inner clan practice doesn't really matter too much. Right, so looking into this game, what I want to predict is that always you would probably want to use a different strategy. I do say this because always you knows a lot of Terran strategies versus Protoss, at least more than three. Having said that, he did change up his strategy last game to the previous game. Perhaps, I'm not sure why, but perhaps because of different maps, or perhaps he just want to practice different strategies. So I'd say this game he could go for some type of cyclone play, which is a mainstream play on ladder, although it's not like a mainstream tournament. But cyclone pushes early game are really tough to hold. Secondly, he could go for a type of like liberator harass, something like that. Once again, I think FidesVestri is going for that standard play, but once again, he is going for that macro style. I'd bet on him playing macro. That's just his style overall. In his past 5, 6, 7 games that I observed.
Game resumed.
Okay, so right now we're going to jump into this game, and both players. Okay, Alwaysyou is actually putting a supply depot there. Um, not many Terran players does that. Normally you put a supply depot there, but to read into this, you can just say he actually forgot to send an SCV there. But reading into this, the advantage of this is that if they do a double pylon rush, they don't have to put it down there. They can go up and put it inside the Terran space. But once again, that's easier to stop because it's closer to SCV line. And Alwaysyou actually, I did predict wrong. So he's not going for a different opener. He is going for a same Nexus, not Nexus, Command Center first opener. Let's see if I predict right here that FidesVestri is going for a 1 gate expand, not a 2 gas base. Probably I'm right, I guess. As predictable as always. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, that's what normal Protoss do. um, that's the mainstream type of play. To be honest, right now I'd say stats. Classic GSL players like these guys. They tend to go for a Nexus first on certain maps. Obviously not this one, but on some of the newer season maps. Standard macro player. No, that's good practice for them both. I mean, they really don't have much of a one base or in build up their sleeve. That like what they do, they sit back, they macro, they be friends, and then they have a fight, and then they end the game. Like just kind of like a gentleman style player. Like that kind of playstyle is pretty like admirable. But personally, I like to add in a bit of strategies into my standard macro kind of play. Although to be honest, I do think that FidesVestri should train, like, just to train to have that kind of all entry, like just to throw it out like once in 3 games. Because right now, Protoss all wins are very hard to hold if you're the Terran, right? So you could go for depth all in, yeah, just double Warp Prism at depth all in. That's like the strongest build there. 1 base, double Immortal Warp Prism all in. 1 base Zealot, Pylon Rush into Oracle, Void Ray into 2 base all in. Like all of these builds, you know, like right now very popular on the Korean ladder. Okay. Back to the perspective of FidesVestri. He is actually going for the same opener as last game. Twilight, 3 gate, Blink, 3rd base, probably after Robo. Probably the safest build out there. Scout coming in, 2 adepts this time. See what he sees. Lots of marines running into these marines. One adept did actually die, but I guess he sees the 2nd base. He sees the natural, and he did actually get to sneak in, so he's gonna finish. And yeah, it takes 3 hits to kill an SCV, so he's probably gonna get 1, but definitely not 2. Stim timing, pretty good. Running out of gas due to that harass. You actually have to pull these SCVs away. But overall, losing 2 adepts there, set FidesVestri behind. I'd say worker-wise, Alwaysyou, like, and FidesVestri very similar, but when okay, so in a PvT matchup, if the Protoss is not ahead 7 or 8 workers, the Protoss is in a deficit due to meal advantage and the chrono boosted advantage as well, so the Protoss should always be ahead. Sadly, that's not the case. Sadly, a late 3rd base, and sadly, he's not gonna have enough units to defend against Alwaysyou's push. 2 base, 5 racks. Oh, interestingly, he's not getting tanked. He's actually gonna get Widowmines. Perhaps. Just a pure Marine. Probably forgot his combat shield. Like, that's a big mistake. But other than that, it's not too bad. Okay, he's getting it now. And he's gonna get tanks out of the factory soon enough. 5.5, a late third base. A standard late third base timing, but what I want to say is he's definitely late on his Colossus. That many Blink Stalkers are good if you do the pressure, but he's not doing the pressure with these Stalkers, so and also always you have to do drops coming. So these Stalkers are kind of waste. Like, you could make these Stalkers, I'm not saying don't make these Stalkers, but really in this situation, if you see always you is not going to go for a push, why do you have to make these Colossus? Like, I mean, why do you have to make these Stalkers? If you sacrifice 3 of these Stalkers, you get a faster robotics play, right? If you sacrifice 3 of these Stalkers, you also get a faster third base. So if I was what I would do after the 2 Adept Scout is not to worry too much about the stun timing, because the stun timing you could always slow it down using the mothership core, which is about full energy at that time as well. If you just put like 1 or 2 pylons up on this ramp, there's no possible way he could go in to kill you, right? So at that time you could go for a faster Colossus, a faster +1, and a faster third base perhaps. In that way he would be ahead. But right now, as you can see, he's transporting some lines. That's not a good position to be in, because he misread into always use play. So that's going to be a very fast timing. Whereas you said, nah, you know what, I'm going to sit back, get a third base myself, and now the Protoss is in a huge deficit. Also, good thing is, he cleared out that drop, which is very important. Sorry about my camera actually being late there, but actually, 2 of these drops, now he's back into this game. Right now, he put his Stalkers into very good use, because always you actually did drop there. But having said that, if always you did not choose to drop, the Stalkers are essentially opportunity costs that you cannot, get it back, and that delays your tick. But that's fine. I mean, he did pick up these 2 drops. It's going to even up the supply. Not sure who's ahead right now, but I'd say they are similar in workers at least. Upgrade wise, always you is on plus nearly. He's on his way to +2, +1. Right now, +1, +0. FidesVestri getting his upgrades as well, getting that +1 and getting that adept speed, and also third base is nearly fully saturated as well. So that's going to be turned into a standard macro type of style play, and Vikings being made as well. So I think after 3 Colossus, he could potentially go into Disruptor, because Viking count is going to get higher and higher and higher. So it is always a good idea to switch into Storm, or rather Disruptor. Personally, I prefer Disruptor after 3 Colossus. And this Observer is going to spot this huge Terran army, and he's going to put his Colossus into this position. 2 sentries are in full energy as well. Shouldn't be too hard of a hold if you just choke point at this ramp and then force field off this army into half. And it's actually going to be a blink, and another mistake, by the way, trying to pick up that tank, but do actually backfire. So right there, always you is going to maintain that position right here. It's going to be very hard for FidesVestri to fight into this. With this upgrade advantage of always you. +1, +1, +2 nearly done. I was going to wait for the +2. 1 Viking do get picked off, but there are 3 Colossus left. And of course, 1 Viking is always not enough. On his side of always you, he's actually having a lot of resources to backside to get a full base as well. And 2 Adepts do actually get into his third base, killing a lot of SCVs with that +1 attack. So these 3 Colossus are kind of exposed, but that Marine is not in the best position. That Prime is going to get back up, and also this blink up on his face is going to clean up his army. So Medevac do actually escape, but always you lost almost all of his army at front, and while at the back he lost how many workers? 9 workers. He lost 9 workers to these oh sorry, probably 8 or 7, because he actually did kill a worker or 2 earlier on. But yeah, that's a lot of SCVs being killed there. And now he doesn't have any bunker, he only has 1 tank, not enough Vikings, and this FidesVestri attack looking very ferocious right there. 4 Colossus as well. Of course, they should remove these Colossus. Sad to say that these devs coming in from the back to get things on. actually just turned the fight around here. His Vikings gunning down his Colossus. One single Colossus left is going to fall. And that fourth base, if always you push right now, could potentially force the cancel. Worker-wise, still very even. Who's in the lead right now? I suppose if FidesVestri waited for that +2, could have been better, but he has 0 armor upgrade right now. Of these Vikings flying and see this fourth base. He might actually go for the kill instead of caring about that fourth base. Because that could be a target just to delay, just to buy FidesVestri some time before always you could actually kill him. But yeah, always he is going for the safe option. Instead of going for the kill, he's going to just go for pressure. Waiting for the fourth base to finish as well. He's getting his own fourth base at back. And there's a warp prism. But I don't know. Warp in a couple of doesn't actually have the vision of that, does it? Scans, sees one Colossus, sees one mothership, or could just go for the kill if he wants to. Army, also Viking counter and Pyro. And land these Vikings. Marauder army, stop them, 2-2 upgrade, this is 2 Terran. You have their 2 upgrade monsters. Landed Vikings. This could be it. Although on the other hand, definitely not damage, but that's not enough. Doesn't have any army left to fight this huge Marauder Viking army. But had he got forward in Disruptor, he could have stood a chance. But versing like 12 Vikings, no matter how many Colossus you make, dies instantly. So this could be it. Another victory by 0. Congrats. I mean, last game, certainly like FidesVestri, he did better than the first game and the second game. He could have killed Alwaysyou with that counter push, that one chance he had. I suppose if he waited for his 4th Colossus and had 2 sentries with good force fields, he could have won that. But losing that fight really set him back into the Stone Age and just unable to compete and keep up with the Viking production. Of course, with a lot of Colossus you're fine, but once these 4 Colossus die, he could not make one at a time and expect them to do anything. So amazing gameplay. I certainly see the advantage of FidesVestri's late 3rd base. Very safe versus any type of drop play, but the disadvantage is that it sets you behind economically. And also, it's not that good, simply not that good versus the 2 base play of Terran. Alright, this is going to be the 4th game. And the previous 3 games, very close, but Alwaysyou do actually win the macro war. Perhaps last game you're able to see further into the weakness of the 2 players. So the first weakness of Alwaysyou is that he's not that quick at reacting against Warp Prism Harass, which is the advantage of FidesVestri, which is he is very fast at reacting to jobs. Well, being a Protoss player, to be honest, you have to react fast, right? Being a Terran player, sometimes Although your SCV could get killed, you could drop mules, right? So um, a weakness of FidesVestri is that sometimes he panic. I'd say like he could be a bit hot on his head when he's thinking about counter push. Once again, that's not a bad thing, being fast on counter push. It's just that you need better preparation, such as having a war prism to reinforce. Last game he didn't have a war prism to reinforce. He didn't have sentries. He didn't have enough adepts to tank the damage in front of the Colossus, in front of the Stalkers. So his push didn't work out, and yeah, that's it. So, oh, seems like a proxy 3 racks coming up on here. Alwaysyou being very cheeky here. Perhaps he did actually. Yeah, of course not. I mean, why would he? um, anyways, that's going to be a very cheeky build. I don't know if Alwaysyou ever used that build, but I think it's gonna work pretty well here because FidesVestri, um, he always opens standard. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or bad thing versus this type of build, but if I was him, I'm able to hold this type of marine pressure using one base, Stalker, Mothership Core, and just abandon the second base. If I see it coming often, I know it's too late. You have to let the second base go. But FidesVestri not sending out a scouting probe just yet, which means that he would be reacting on spot instead of preparing for this. But with this one Mothership Core on the way, yeah, I hope he's making a Stalker. Never mind in depth, that's alright. Once again, these Marines are just gonna attack very soon. But he could just hold it. 3 pylon on this ramp, abandon the second base, photon overcharge, suicide Mothership Core, photon overcharge, suicide again, photon overcharge, suicide again, photon overcharge. Constantly suiciding Mothership Core and photon overcharge is probably the best bet here. He's gonna see these 2 Marines, but he's not sure if it's a Marine type of all-in. It is gonna be a type of all-in here. Could make a few pylons. I hope Alwaysyou is not actually. What the hell is he doing? He's not going up there. Big mistake. He's trying to siege the low ground and play out a macro game. He's gonna go for expansion there. So interesting build, interesting indeed. He could just go for a 1 base Blink Stalker all in and perhaps win the game. If I was FidesVestri, I would win right now if I go for 1 base Blink Stalker. That's a free win right there. If Alwaysyou doesn't go up the ramp, this build is not going to work if he doesn't kill the Protoss, right? Like, I mean, this pressure is good. You kill the second base, but you do commit a lot of SCVs, you do commit a lot of economy in exchange with 400 minerals. Is that worth? I ask you that question, and the answer is it's never worth, because you in exchange of that Protoss's 400 minerals, you commit a bunker, that many early game Marines, no tech, no gas, late command center, that many of your SCV. If I was to react into this, what I would essentially do is simply getting 1 base Blink. But having said that, Stargate did actually drop there, and with 1 scan being made, 1 scan to actually see the Stargate. So I'm not saying Stargate is the worst option, but it certainly gives the Terran a lot of time to prepare, since he does have so many Marines. He could defend against any type of Oracle play. Once again, if you get Void Ray, you could kill the bunker and probably hope for a breakout. It's always not the best option, because by the time you expand, the Terran is already 2 ahead, that he could transition this game into a normal macro game. So Alwaysyou is going to pull back, realizing that perhaps FidesVestri do want to break out quite soon with that Stargate as well. So he needs to obviously go back and defend using these Marines between these mineral lines, preventing an Oracle from harassing. And on the side of FidesVestri, he could go for expansion. I hope he doesn't go for expansion. I hope he goes for an all-in, because he could certainly win the game if he just be a bit more decisive. Although like right now, say Alwaysyou has an SCV lead. He has 2 bunkers up front, but with no siege tank at the back. He is upgrading Stim, but Stim is not going to finish until a minute later. And with a forward pylon and a forward gateway, he could potentially put so many units. Alwaysyou not obviously a Blink Stalker Orwen could attack from the back and won the game already by now. A Robo Orwen with War Prism could already won the game by now. So this type of heavy Stargate play we see coming out from FidesVestri is definitely like, as you can see here, he is going to suicide 3 Adepts in exchange for some SCV. It's getting some scouting information. And this Oracle, on the other hand, is going to do a lot of damage right here too. The Stalker is trying to pressure, but not gonna get too much done right there. He's not making any probes at the back, which means that Alwaysyou still has a good lead. Although right now, FidesVestri do have a lot of minerals banked up, a lot of gas banked up, a heading supply. So this game is slowly turning into FidesVestri's favor right now. With their late missile turrets, Marines not in position, their 3 Adepts do actually put in a lot of Marine on health damage on top of that Marine, so the Oracle could do more damage. These small details just really gives FidesVestri so right here, 5 Stalkers, 1 fully charged mothership. Also, the tech-wise, he is getting robotics facility with robotics bay as well. So with this Stargating plays, could potentially go for Phoenix Colossus type of play. On the other hand, Alwaysyou playing very standard, 3 bunkers being made, still not salvaged yet. Factory right here. I mean, this game kind of makes me speechless due to the fact that it is a strange opening and how it transitions into a normal game. What I have predicted is that FidesVestri will go for base Orwen, but not knowing that he wishes to macro out of it. That's fine too. I mean, it's less risky, but less rewarding at the same time. One Oracle to actually scout everything. 5 racks, 1 factory being made, so this is going to be a 9-minute timing from Alwaysyou. He just knows that, like, if you look at this, medevacs are coming out around 9 minutes, and by 9 minutes probably do have custom shells, some marauders, 2 base timing push. This game, once again, a late 3rd base. Obviously 8 minutes late, but once again you have to take into account the early game pressure, the early game resource costs between the 2 players. And I'd say 8 minutes is a standard timing in the context of this game. And we begin to see that the main mineral line for both players are about to run out. So FidesVestri, having that 3rd base, is able to fully saturate straight away by pulling these probes from the main denatural. Side of Alwaysyou do have quite a bit of SCV oversaturation. If he's not gonna get a 3rd base, then he doesn't have to make SCVs. The fact that he's making SCVs could mean that he could go for SCV pool out of on top of his 2 base, or he could potentially go for SCV pool, or he could fly his main base to the 3rd base and begin fully saturate over there as well. This push is going to be very scary if he mixes in some medevac drops or just F2A move the front. FidesVestri, 2 sentries not gonna be banked up with these collisions. Scan, do see the entire tech tree line of FidesVestri. Do you see the upgrade forge as well? FidesVestri putting that trap there. Knowing that Alwaysyou has an upgrade base. Now observer to see a huge clump of Marine Rudder medevac army. So he knows that if he holds this, he'll pick up the victory. If he doesn't hold this, he'll lose straight away. Alwaysyou is going to push for expansion. Having said that trap is going to delay another 21 seconds. And Alwaysyou's going for a push now. But that trap did actually review that that FidesVestri do have a lot of traps set around the map. So Alwaysyou, if I was him, I'd send in 1 Marine. I'd stem 1 Marine across first to see if there are any traps. Or very smart to go the other way, you know. But Alwaysyou might have expected a 3rd base being placed here, whereas that's not the case. 3rd base is being put there. I mean, that's a bit far if you attack from 2 fronts. If you attack here with Marine Marauder, drop the main with Marine Marauder, and yeah, stem across with Marine Marauder. Really, it's gonna be very hard to hold. But it seems like always you really want to be a man, just fight the front. It's not the best Terran style, but hey, that's a huge army, man. I doubt he could push into this because 2 sentries now in full energy. This choke point is pretty hard to push. Pressuring the third is probably the right choice, or just wait and drop 2 fronts at once. No defense in me. Oh, I suppose there is a. Again, these force fields really on point. Pushing this back. Marauders, they're overstemmed. Gotta heal them up right now. Drop into the main, most likely. Observer to actually spot this, and Mothership Core could just. 2 medevacs could not break these foot overcharged, but 3 medevac drop can. So that's just a drop harass type of play. Lead right now. Good crosses, good link forward, catching some relief. That's it. Ship job. Forward perhaps. Stalkers on cooldown. Bad luck. Bad luck. So blink into position. Now he could drop the 3rd base as well. FidesVestri. He's gonna pull probes away beforehand. And now he's gonna go back. This is a very hard map to hold. I mean, that buys always you a lot of time to macro at home, really. I thought FidesVestri is just gonna push F2 A move and win the game, but always you did buy himself so much time. These 2 ships might actually fall right there, but bought himself so many time. That FidesVestri not spending his minerals and income and gases. Oh my god. Once again, this game goes into a stalemate position. I suppose always you could go for a drop there. Let's check the income for both players. Very. Sees the storm too far. He's done that down to first. That would be a big pick-off actually. Can he actually get it though? So close. 5 HP. Wow. 5 HP. If I was in, I just put in like 8 Marines and then just drop that. Commit to the job for that Templar Archive. But once again, FidesVestri. What can I say? He has so many minerals and gas in bank. If he just spent that, he could just win the game right now. But he didn't. Always you though. Don't have the best concave right there. The Vikings is going to get down this process really fast, but the others are pretty low on HP. Blink forward, catching up to his tanks, but the left man always is actually winning. And these Vikings after these losses died. Not enough gateway to pump out units. And Storm is not done yet. Even if the Storm is done though, he doesn't have any Templars. He's asking how. Well, I suppose just a lot of mistakes. I suppose if he actually committed to push instead of defending against drops, because these 2 dropships do actually always use so much time. If he didn't drop, FidesVestri push, FidesVestri win. If he does the job, FidesVestri should use wargate units to reinforce his own base and embed the 3 Colossus into that push. I know it's such a hard game, but if I was him, I just 1 base all in with that of always use opening, because 1 base blink stalker it's just a single win, or 1 base robo would win the game as well. I'd say always you did pull up a miracle here. I'd say you did actually come back from that mid-game disadvantage. Interesting opener though, very interesting opener. All these depths, no, oh yeah, this one these Vikings aren't landing, but not too late here. Upgrade wise, it's okay to 2 vs 1-1, but always you just GG. This is going to be a 4-0. But yeah, I just have. I'm kind of speechless at the moment. But he could have won that. It's always easy to say that, but he could have won that. Alright, seems like we're gonna have a 5th game or 6th game. I can't remember how many games they played, but I'm happy to observe a few more before I go to sleep. Just gonna quickly change the settings into 1v1 Zerg versus Protoss. Game 5 or game 6? I'll quickly check actually. Not actually sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's not the game. That's the other game. So 5 games. No, 4 games, right? This is going to be the yes, new season. Yeah, this is a new season map indeed. Cactus Valley LE, the ladder edition as well. Very popular map, 4-player spawn, and also played in the GSL. I'm not sure who's coughing in my voice channel, but anyways, right now Alwaysyou, I'm not sure, man. Like, he has 3 workers not mining. All right, so it's indeed need mineral. The one who's coughing. Okay, so FidesVestri is sending out a probe. Getting down this pylon at the front. This is a very unique place to put because normally you don't do that, right? Like on this map, you normally put the pylon at the back to let 3 structures wall off properly. Shit, drones didn't mine. To 300 mineral deficit. To encourage fair play, I would encourage FidesVestri to suicide 2 probes. To encourage fair play, he should stop mining for 5 seconds. But nah, it's not too big of a deal. It's almost like a drone scout. Yeah, probably worse than a drone scout actually. Okay. So gateway first. Nexus. No gas just yet. Interesting. Normally you'd expect a faster gas versus Zerg, if you want that faster tech tree. Okay, the probe scout did see everything. Didn't see the gas though. Why didn't he see the gas? Well, I assume he could assume that he has a gas. Go back in and get another scouter. So just to comment on Alwaysyou's playstyle once again. Sorry, I have to mute for a while. Okay, I just muted in the voice channel. Yeah, now we're able to see Alwaysyou going for a standard 3-base play. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, I also have no idea what he's doing either. It was interesting. Open a gasless 1 gate expand. That delays the tick probably. It's not too big of a deal. Setup Alwaysyou. Very normal as well. Bad luck, 2 overlords didn't see anything. Knows he's there. Now he can run 2 Zerglings to scout out. Although if I was Alwaysyou, he's probably thinking he can't afford making any more Zerglings than 2 Zerglings. Is that a sufficient war? Probably, eh? Not exactly sure, but the depth is not going to come out in time. Zergling's probably going to get it, unless he has photon overcharges. Is that going to be too big of a commitment? Is he going to overcharge? Hey? Oh, okay, never mind. He did actually miss micro there, and now depth 1. Okay, he's going to escape, and Another Zergling. Zergling speed is about to finish. Way too much. Even if he has Zergling speed, I don't think. He's gonna die. See the third base? That's a big sign. Big sign of macro. Also sees drones being pulled there too. So that adept scout is very Overlord is gonna come in. No photon overcharge. Sees the double gas. Did he see the double gas? I think he did. He didn't see that gas, but that's probably enough to tell. At this moment, he sees that. He sees the gas being put down. He knows that it will be a. First of all, we can neglect the possibility of a two-base adept all-in. You see a gas being made on the natural, but he's not even mining, so what am I saying? But having said that, if he just goes mine that gas, it won't be an adept all-in, it will be a textile two-base play. Now you assume the textile of FidesVestri is a robotic facility, so what exactly could it be? Right, so always you did actually see
forces under attack.
Facility. Could be a DT drop, could be a adept perhaps. Having said that, he's just gonna put down 3 spores. Be very safe here. Be very safe. Worker wise, 53 drones to 45. 45 probes. And seems like it's going to be a DT expand. DT getting warped in. Could just change into. If you trust your opponent, definitely go for a Archon harass straight away. Because the thing is, like, DT's not gonna get anything, right, if your opponent's good enough. But surprisingly, not much is anything. Are you serious about getting that spawning? Not really sure. It's decent harass, getting down that third base, stabilize the 2-base economy. On the side of Alwaysyou, he's gonna set up some static defense. Getting that spawning pool, just another spawning pool, just in case. Wow, double evolution chamber, and a lot of unspent minerals and gas. Probably could go for a 3-base pressure type of play, but the thing is, always you don't know if FidesVestri has a 3rd base or not. That's some missing information. To connect the dots, you must scout with a Zergling. He's gonna run 2 Zerglings, one each empty base, I guess. So yeah, he's gonna see the 3rd base. So probably gonna get a 4th himself, or 3 bases. Could do so much. He's very behind now, actually. Very behind. In terms of the supply, in terms of workers, in terms of economy. Bases, I mean, usually as a Zerg you must be 1 base ahead, or 2 bases ahead of the Protoss. With that many unspent minerals, 1,300 in the bank, could be a very hard mid game. So he's pausing on 53 workers, whereas Fighters is actually 60, or potentially 65 or 70. That's going to be a bit of oversaturation, I suppose. He pull his main probes to 3rd, and that's going to be fully saturated. These so much damage. That's actually a lot, by the way. 1,300 unit lost against 1 unit loss, which is, I believe, an adept. It's going to be his game, I think. He's really ahead right now. 4 immortals, could go up to 6. That's going to be so painful. Roaches. Walker's got hit though. Archon's not regenerating enough shield, but doesn't really matter now. I'm gonna kill all of these creatures, perhaps. This mineral line is going to be in danger. Oh, Archon's a bit too fat. Can't really get out now. Alright, pick up 2, okay, 1 red HP Archon. Trying to crush him. Yeah, could actually rent in there, but you know, expect that one. So this is always his chance, but on top of an observer means that FidesVestri do have the information, but this is his chance. He has to do it. These two Archons finally died, and these drones are not. Let's focus on the big picture. Can Alwaysyou win right here, right now? Will FidesVestri take his first victory? These mortals are a bit late. It's going to come from the back, killing the rabbit. Very fast. All these Archons are blocked. Huge mistake. And Alwaysyou could just kill this third base. And right now, he could transition into a macro game. Because if he actually killed his third base, and all of these Archons are trapped inside, this is really good for Alwaysyou right now. So the tide has turned. Alwaysyou attacked very successfully, or rather punished FidesVestri for his attack, for his mistake of using these Archons to attack inside his second base. Remember, I think Archon's unit size is 1.5. Zealot is 1. Stalker is 1.5. I forgot it. I believe if a Stalker could come out, an Immortal could come out, but an Archon can't come out. I'm not sure exactly about the unit size. I need to redo my homework to remember. Right now, Alwaysyou really do want to put up the pressure. Having said that, there are 6 Archons now, so these Banelings, you do have a lot of Banelings, but these Archons are extremely good at absorbing Baneling fire. Not being used right now is Archons. You do have to pull back. 64 drones to 48 pros, still anyone's game. Alwaysyou certainly have an advantage of map control, of having more and more units being pumped out as well. And he's gonna attack into it. FidesVestri. Base rate, like once again, he could go for the base rate if he has more prism. Sadly, he doesn't. He's gonna catch his roach rabbit or something like that. He has more prism. Back, secures the third base, stabilizes his economy, then play out. Yeah, that's not against it, it's just that it does buy all the time. Fighting into this. He's having a lot of limits right there. Mistake. Do throw his advantage away. Getting more and more Hydralisks. And the Hydralisk upgrade is about to finish. And obviously it is going to be 2 attack on Zerglings, 1 armor on all of these units, and 1 ranged attack. FidesVestri, bad luck, didn't actually find the 4th base of Alwaysyou. Might think that he's still on 3, or you probably know that he do have another 4th base on the way. So this army of FidesVestri is like, although his supply is low, but this army is standing strong. Pushes back so many Archons. This is plus 3 attack button, so you have to know that they will just melt the Hydralisks and things. I think perhaps buy some more time to play things, and these Immortals right now, killing. Oh, never mind, you have these 2 Archons starting. Getting picked off. I was thinking, come back. Said that it's going to be a Zergling run by, which do get cleaned up. You actually kill quite a bit of probes right now. So, Alwaysyou is on the defense side. Defend this, he could win. If he cannot defend this, he loses his stats. That's why I think FidesVestri narrow window potentially not. Can you do it though? So close. These Immortals are gonna walk back. Let's check the income. Okay, back and forth, back and forth. This is very interesting. Always you. Huge economic advantage. Could re-establish his third base or re-establish another new base. FidesVestri need to attack another timing all in from that 1.5 base economy. Either all in now or never, or getting his own fourth base, which gives always you a lot of window to recover. So +3 attack, +1 defense, +2 defense. Creep spread is going out slowly. Drones 56 to 38 probes. Both players re-establishing their stable economy. It's going to be another quick Zergling run by. A very fast +3. These cannons are able to clean it up. Some lost delayed mining time. Not too much of a big deal. Economy Alwaysyou is still ahead. Why is it not playing greedy, not getting that new base, but actually playing very safe there. Army is going to lose all of these banelings. What can they get done there? Are they going to get run into that base or just come from the back? I'm not sure. Actually spot these two banelings. He could notice something is about to happen. A baneling run by. Two cannons. Kills so many probes. Oh my god, kills the entire probe line. This is almost impossible to come back. Like, I'd say if he wants to recover, it's close to impossible. Right now, he should just go for an attack right now. But even if he goes for the attack, Lurkadin is about to finish. There are so many Hydralisks sling Bane army. Upgrade is about to catch up as well. I think Alwaysyou just has this game right now. And I really think that FidesVestri did lose his best chance of attacking. And right now, he's in a huge deficit. He could potentially warp in some Stalkers right there. Try to attack into this mineral line. If you know that, if you get Blink Stalkers or even Stalkers without Blink, you could attack from there. But these Hydralisks are in range. Although without sight, Zerg could really not attack onto this point. FidesVestri. Let's see, what is he gonna warp in? One Adept is not going to force a cancel. I guess 2 Zealots would be better, but doesn't matter. Just there to harass Alwaysyou. And here comes the all-in. Here comes push. Kamikaze. Can he make it? Let's see how good are these force fields, by the way. One lurker in range. Does he have an observer? Yes, he does. Oh, these Hydralisks are really caught off guard there. Oh, beautiful force fields. Zealots getting picked off. Check out the income. Income is getting stabilized. Suiciding more lanes and hydras. I think FidesVestri might win it from now on. This observer couldn't die, shouldn't die. He's in a commanding lead, both economically. As you can see, this base is not mined out, whereas all 3 bases of Alwaysyou are mined out. And he has an army advantage of 81. Having said that, regenerate these shields. Doesn't have to do right now. Alwaysyou has more and more lurkers, which is worry here. Don't let this observer die, but there are no overseers, so that shouldn't be a problem. FidesVestri is actually trapped here. Oh my god. What is this game? He's actually trapped right here. He couldn't really go into it. what I would do if I was I let the Immortals tank the damage, and then Archon comes in later. But is he gonna suicide into this? Oh, sorry, not suicide into it actually. But so many Archons on red HP getting taken out. All these Hydras just fortified by their range. GG. Alwaysyou, what a close game. Winning his 5th game of the night, I suppose. Crazy, 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 crazy games. I think he won again, but he lost. I know, man. I know, man. That's so, so, so close. Had he not been trapped there, or had he just walked out, could have been fine. Lost patience, I guess. Alright, I'll take a quick break, guys. Be back in 2 minutes. It's pretty tiring casting these games, to be honest, but hey, I really enjoy watching. Really good games tonight. Fan-fucking-tastic, guys. Just grabbed a drink and I thought you were ahead in army, man. That was so good. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh my god, man. FidesVestri. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could have won like three of them, to be honest. It's a little bit of misjudgment, I guess. Really close games. Really, really, really close games. Really, really, really close games. Want more? Well, I don't mind watching. See if FidesVestri wants to play. I mean, if he wants to play, I'll cast more and I'll record more. Yeah. He needs a rest. Well, let's call this for the night, guys. Extremely fun 5 games. I'll upload this very shortly. And thank you for all joining us in the lobby. Thank you for watching. And see you guys next time.